It's funny. It was such a long time ago. I can remember going to school in San Francisco when I was about 7 or 8. I can remember that house. And huge tram lines. Isn't it funny when you think about it? And I can remember, I must have been younger than that. I can remember saying to my mother, too old her walking to school with me. I don't think I was particularly naughty, but I liked getting up to things. Oh yes, I got my life all sorted out because my father was abroad and my mother was in England, poor soul, because they put me into boarding school so that she could go back to Hong Kong with my father. And then in the end she didn't go. He was a sugar and rice merchant. Now, quite what that meant was I don't know, but I presumed he imported and exported it. He had an office in Hong Kong. We're going back 80 years. Think of it. It wasn't like it is now, where you can just get in a plane and go anywhere. It took us a while. It took us, I think it was the best part of 3 weeks to get from England to Hong Kong. It was a cargo ship that took 12 passengers. So there was always something to do or games to play or things to see, and we stopped at lots of different places. There's so much that you can learn from just talking to people and things they've done. They were in, well, during the war, my father was a prisoner of war, and my mother was with me in Sydney. We were evacuated from Hong Kong via the Philippines. I stayed in Australia for about 6 years, I think, during the war. And then at the end of the war, we were evacuated back to England. So I saw half the world at the government's expense. Though the rationing came after the war, as far as we were concerned, because it was when we came back to England. Oh yes, and you could have so much sugar, tea, coffee, and we have ration books. And so it was ticked off. I think there were pull out things. We lived in a village, so we were very lucky. Because when they had a bit over, they'd say, like a bit of extra. But it must have been very hard for people in the war, in the towns. I can remember going back after the war to Hong Kong and meeting my father. Have I told you this? Who had been a prisoner of war, and he had no shoes. He had no shoes on, and that is my strongest memory, that he must have spent years with no shoes. He never talked much about it, but I don't think any of them did. Well, I went to boarding school. I told you that, didn't I? And then I left and did medicine. Then I got married and had a family. I don't know how I was up in a ward and somebody said, "Oh, this is Mac," and he was in bed as a patient, and I said hello, and then sometime afterwards I was at a party and somebody said, "Oh, this is Mac," and I said, "How do you do?" And he said, "You don't remember me, do you? But if I was in a pair of," I've forgotten what they called them, they were like shorts, they were pyjamas. And he said, "Oh, if I was in these." I said, "Oh, I remember exactly who you are." Oh, that's a long time ago. Well, I must have got my degree, so I must have been probably about 23, and Mac was in the Navy. And so in those days, wives went round with their husbands quite often. See, there wasn't all the travel. You went by sea. I wanted a large family, yes. And where we moved, when Mac's job changed, we just moved. We didn't have a house, which in some ways was sad, but in other ways meant we were all together. I certainly saw a lot of the world. You must have heard about our caravan. You went all over the place with that. But when I think of places I've been to, I think, oh, we loved it out there. And then we moved on, and it was somewhere else that was interesting. Remember, I had a very lucky life. Well, I call it lucky, because I've travelled so much. Other people don't want to travel. Well, you see, you meet a whole lot of people and listen to what their views are. You see a whole lot of different places. And I like to see the world. I didn't think there was anywhere I didn't like, you know. I was lucky. I think also that you can be lucky if you like doing different things and are interested. I can well understand if you got stuck in one place and we're enjoying it, you might not want to move. But I'm glad I moved a lot. But don't ask me which was the favourite.
Which was your favourite?
I said, don't ask me. Which was my favourite? I don't honestly know. I was lucky that I enjoyed the things I did. No, I will tell you. When now I'm old, I reckon there's nowhere like England. Oh, you joke. Jog my memory, it's great. You think you'll never forget. But my advice is to write the odd thing down. Because there are places and names of people, I think, oh, I wish I had made a note of what they were. Because I remember it was very sudden, and Janet Martin was staying, and we put Mag in the back of there. They had, it wasn't a Land Rover, but you know, a car with a boot, and we took him down to the hospital. I didn't realise he was that ill, but I don't think he would have enjoyed being an invalid, you know. These things have a way of working out for the best. Well, I really enjoyed my life. I was an only child, and I was lucky enough to have a family, and that to me was a great thing. I didn't enjoy being an only child. I went to boarding school, I enjoyed that. It's not much I haven't enjoyed. But then you're all so good, and you talk to us, and I don't know how to express it really, but I enjoy talking to you all. I certainly don't feel a depressed old lady. I'd give them advice to do and study what they really want to. Do as much as you can and see as much as you can. There's nothing I regret that I didn't do or did wrong. Seriously. A lot more I could have done, probably. Oh yes, I regretted I didn't do more medicine. But you couldn't do everything. I got myself all lined up with a doctor, and I was going to do one of his surgeries. And then he said, I've discovered you're a neighbour wife. I don't wish to have anything to do with you. It was a bit hard, I thought. Well, you can't see so well. You can't remember so well. Your faculties don't work so well. But I think if you've got to have a cheerful outlook, then it helps you a lot. And people are so kind. And that makes a huge difference. And it's been fun for me talking to you about what I did when I was young. Nothing I wouldn't do again. Oh, I'd love a cup. Are you thirsty?
Yeah.
So am I. I can't think why. Enjoyed that. Thank you so much.